pleasant day. On this video, we will be arguing about international trade. If is it really advantage most especially to developing countries like us or not. But in order for us to fully absorb the topic, let us dig first of what really is international trade. According to Thamia, international trade is an enterprise on the basis of mutual agreement to gain advantage to create global cycle of a trade. There are two types of international trade: export, which is the activity of selling goods and services to another foreign countries, and import, which is the activity of receiving goods and services from other foreign countries. Now, as we all know, international trading really helps and serves a great contribution in a nation in terms of formation of interstate relationships, improving country welfare, opening up jobs, existence of technology, increases a country's GDP, and price control, and that I think is very observable. But on the other hand, there are some who insist about the negative impacts of international trade, and that we will argue in this video. Now, they said developing countries have a relatively high dependence on developed countries in production factors. Well, it really will based on the country's resources, and we have nothing to do with that because it is already given. For example, our country Philippines is behind when it comes to technology production. It is because we are lack of resources, and the purpose actually of trading is to fulfill the lacking of the nation. That is why we purchase from other nations. So, it is not always bad to be dependent on other countries. They perceive that workers are competing against desperate and low-wage labor and job losses through outsourcing. Now, the question is, without the presence of trade, will nation like Philippines can generate sufficient jobs? Definitely not. So at least jobs are still circulating, many options and many fallbacks. Better embrace that labor than nothing. And one thing also, I think the minimum wage, for example in the Philippines, is not that bad, so there's nothing to really compromise. Others also argue that trading can harm the environment by too much exporting of natural resources, cutting of trees, and mining activities. This actually makes sense, but it's a matter of discipline, because we cannot say that stop international trade to preserve the environment. We cannot say that. Life without trade is unthinkable. So again, it's a matter of discipline, and government also has the responsibility to put limits and to prevent environmental abuse. There are already rules such as Republic Act 7942 or the Mining Act and other forestry-related laws, but still it needs enhancement, and the government must eye on that. Now let us use inquiry or the art of questioning. Without international trade, could nations build a relationship? Definitely not. And lack of relationship will lead to unmaintained peace. Why? It is because superpower nations might abuse their powers as they are at the top. They want more. They want satisfaction of their nation. So, it will lead to an exploitation of smaller nations. Imagine you are eating an apple and you saw your younger brother eating a salad. Wouldn't you be interested in his food? Wouldn't you abuse your power, knowing that he is weaker than you? Definitely, it cannot be avoided, most especially that several of us think selfishly. The same thought between nations, without exportation and importation of goods and services, may lead to a want more habit. A nation, most especially superpowers, wants more to be at the top and fulfill resources in their nation. In relation to that, a superpower nation will be interested to occupy smaller nations just to fill in satisfactions. In a brighter concept, with the help of trade, nations are having a forum and positive relationship to maintain the smooth flow of the process. In smaller scope, society allow themselves to experience modern and standard living because they will be able to experience a better quality and a newer way of life. In addition, people also will be able to embrace modern advancements that made life living at ease. We cannot say that we are no longer enjoying our own made products, but the idea is simply that people has given an options and has given the freedom to experience and to have what other nations have. And that I conclude the purpose of trading, for circulating jobs, standard living, freedom to choose, and most importantly, maintaining peace by sharing resources to each other and developing relationship among nations.